This match is Shotapero versus Kumachom. It's going to be a first to 50. Kumachom doesn't. Oh, he's setting up a 2-double on the right side and the left side. And he sends one of those 2 doubles. Shotapero is going to defend with a 2-chain, but he gets a little garbage. And now he's got a 3-chain for Shotapero. Kumachom's got a counter starter for his main chain, but he's going to try to extend a little bit before sending. And it looks like he's running out of space, so he does just send his main chain now. The tell is a triple, so it's fast, but it's not as powerful as it could be. And Shotapero starts his main chain in response. Kumachom might need a second chain to win this round. And Shotapero is going to counter everything. Kumachom can't get a second chain off, and Shotapero takes the first point. Well, Kumachom's got a 2-double setup, 2-triple setup, and he sends it. Shotapero's got a 4-chain. No, it's a 5-chain. And it looks like Kumachom's going to be at a disadvantage. He's trying to build tall on the left side, but he's still got a lot of garbage. And his yellows get covered as well. He's able to dig, but Shotapero's got a 2-double follow-up, and now Kumachom has even more garbage. And he's going to lose this one. Kumachom was able to make a powerful attack, but Shotapero just had a 5-chain ready. And Kumachom's setting up another 2-double. Doesn't send it yet. 2-triple, doesn't send it though, and he covers it. Shotapero's got a 4-chain. Kumachom is going to go into a strange chain, but most of the Puyo on his field is going to disappear. Shotapero didn't counter with enough though. Shotapero needed to extend a little bit more before sending that, and Kumachom gets the win. It was tough to read exactly how much was going to disappear on Kumachom's field, and Shotapero might have misread it there. Kumachom's setting up again, but covers it. Kumachom might be looking for a 2-double on the right side. He does send the 2-double, and Shotapero doesn't draw a blue to counter. But he's still got the purples that he can clear. Kumachom's pre-sending a 4-chain though, and Shotapero needs another chain, and he can't get a big enough one off. Kumachom could see that Shotapero was pretty stuck and had to clear a 2-chain, so he sent a 4-chain before he did that, and got the win. Kumachom's got a big 2-chain coming. Shotapero can't start anything, but he's going to be able to reach those greens if he clears the purples and something else. So Kumachom's going to have to build up. Shotapero might try to attack before sending everything he has, but right now it looks like he's just connecting everything. If he clears the yellows, it'll start his chain. Oh, looked like that single might have made him fill up, but he was able to receive the garbage, and now he's sending his main chain. Kumachom's had a lot of time to build up, though, and had a better form to work with because he didn't have garbage. And actually, Shotapero's chain didn't connect. I didn't see where it was going to stop, but it stopped. And Kumachom was able to set off his chain just in time, but now Shotapero might be able to extend and win. Looks like he couldn't do it. I was thinking that Shotapero's chain was going to be a lot longer, so it was a good job from Kumachom to recognize that it was stopping and then send the chain in time. Kumachom's again attacking, this time a 4-chain all clear. Shotapero's got a 4-chain, but no all clear, so Kumachom has a pretty big advantage. And he's going to spend the bonus now. And Shotapero doesn't have much there. Kumachom's setting up a follow-up 4 chain all clear again, and this should be decisive. And Kumachom gets another point. It's now 2-4. Kumachom is again setting up pretty aggressively. It's been working pretty well at the start of this match. Kumachom covers the red, so I can't start a big 2 chain. But he's building a 2 double on top. This seems to be a pretty common strategy for Kumachom, and now he's sending that 2 double on top. It's going to get countered by a 3 chain, though. That's a really tough 3 chain to read from shotapero, but he was able to make it, and now he's making a 2 double. Kumachom's going to counter with a single and then a 2 chain, but his starter gets covered, and shotapero's following up. Kumachom can't start anything, and it looks like he's going to fill up, and he does. So shotapero does get a win. It was a good 3 chain counter that got him there. Kumachom's form isn't as easy to attack with this time. Shotapero is making a big 2 chain to counter a smaller 2 chain from Kumachom. And Kumachom's making a 2 triple. It was tough to see that one coming. But Shotapero's just going to send his main chain. Kumachom can extend here and probably win. He starts his main chain right when Shotapero's chain ends. And it's hard to read how much is going to connect in the tell. The reds and the blues and the greens actually end up connecting. It ended up being a very good tell because that was tough to see how it was all going to fall together, but most of it ended up connecting. Kumachom's setting up again, but he covers the purples, so it's not easy to attack. Shotapero's got a pretty stable chain setup. He's making a 2 double with the blues now. And he sends his main chain actually. Faked like it was going to be a 2 double, but it ended up connecting to his main chain. And Kumachom can't draw a blue starter. If he drew the blue starter, it would have connected down to the bottom, and I think it might have been enough to counter. Unfortunately, he just didn't draw a blue. So Shotapero is going to take that one. Kumachom's setting up again. Can start a big chain on the yellows, and he does it. And Shotapero is just going to receive the garbage, but the yellow gets blocked off, and that's going to make it even harder to dig. And he ends up... he's actually got a 5 chain, but Kumachom got... Oh no, it's a 4 double, but Kumachom got an all clear, so Kumachom keeps the advantage. He hasn't sent the bonus yet, though. Shotapero is going to be stuck into sending a 4 chain. No, it's going to connect actually to a 6 chain. 7 chain. Kumachom's tried to build up to counter this. Let's see if he's got enough. Kumachom's got a pretty big chain here, but I don't know if the yellows are going to connect. The yellows at the end don't connect, but he doesn't need it. It's enough of a counter, and he gets the win anyway. Kumachom was able to read that Shotapero was going for a really big chain, so it was a good strategy to not clear the bonus quickly because it would have given him less Puyo to be able to counter Shotapero's big chain. So instead of clearing the bonus, he just built a big chain, and that was the right strategy. Oh, single from Shotapero gets countered by a single from Kumachom. And it looks like a 2 double from Kumachom. No, he's going to go for the purples to start his main chain. Shotapero is attacking with the 4 chain, but Kumachom draws the purple in time. And I don't know if there's a red in the right column to connect. And it's not there, actually. So it stops at 10. And Shotapero can't start his main chain in time. Even though it wasn't the full main chain, it was still a 10 chain, which is pretty big. If there's a red there, it would have been a lot bigger. All potential all clear, but the blue didn't come fast enough for Kumachom. Shotapero's clearing a single to counter the single from Kumachom. It looks like his form is tough to work with. He's just going to send a 2-chain though, and Kumachom's going to take the garbage. And he's able to dig. 3-chain follow-up, and it's going to get countered by a 3-chain. They both look like they have tough forms to work with, kind of. 2 double, 3-chain from Shotapero. Kumachom's going to be able to counter. And it's tough to read, but it's going to connect to a large chain. Shotapero needs a purple. He draws a purple at the last second. Now he needs his chain to be big enough to counter. And it's also pretty tough to read. But it's gonna be barely enough, I think. And Kumachom has a second chain though. And it's a very strong second chain, and Shotapero's not gonna be able to beat that one. Needed to win the first chain battle by a little bit more than that. It's now 4-8. Kumachom's setting up not aggressively actually. It looked like he was gonna use the form he usually uses, but he ends up building more of a normal chain this time. In fact, it doesn't really look like he's trying to attack even now. He's got a 3-chain on the left side to defend, and he's going to send a 3-chain. Oh, it's a 4-chain with the green and the ghost row. But it's going to get countered by a 4-chain that's a lot stronger. Kumachom's got a follow-up 3-chain, but Shotapero goes straight into his main chain and gets the interrupt. Kumachom needs to dig somehow, and he can't do it. It's a very good interrupt. Oh, wait, he's going to try to do it. It's not going to be enough. The interrupt from Shotapero got him the win because Kumachom was countering the attack, but Shotapero was able to start his main chain fast enough so that he could interrupt the counter and still get garbage to fall on Kumachom. This time Kumachom's decided aggression seems to be working, so he's going to go back to it. If Shotapero can make a 5-chain or so, though, he would be able to counter it, and Kumachom just didn't actually send it. He had like a 2 quad or something set up, but he didn't send it. Now, Shotapero is going to receive garbage and then send a 2 double, but Kumachom sees this coming and sends his main chain. Shotapero can't set off a big chain here, and Kumachom does get the win. Shotapero didn't have an immediate counter to Kumachom's first attack, so he received the garbage, and then he had a quick 2 double to dig with and attack at the same time. But he wasn't able to set off a main chain in the end. Small 2-chain from Kumachom, and then a big single. And Shotapero is going to get almost a line of garbage. Now a 2 double from Kumachom, but Shotapero draws exactly what he needs to start his main chain. And Kumachom's not going to be able to complete his counter form in time. He needed 2 purples and then the starter. So it's now 6-9. Kumachom's been leading most of the way so far, or maybe the whole way, I'm not sure. Oh, quick 3-chain from Kumachom, but it looks like it's going to get countered by a 5-chain. And Kumachom's probably at a pretty big disadvantage. He's trying to build tall, but he's still going to get so much garbage. He's got a 2-chain to dig with. Shotapero's going to receive it and try to get blues to start a 4 or 5-chain. And then he's going to extend from there. Kumachom's got a 2 double 3-chain, but Shotapero's got a long chain going. And Kumachom's going to need a really big dig here, and he can't get it. It looks very hard for Kumachom to win when he attacks fast and Shotapero gets a 5-chain. But if it's less than that, a lot of times Kumachom has a chance to win, or he has the advantage. Kumachom sends a 2 double, and shotapero counters with the 3 chain. And it turns out pretty even. They both got right side GTR this time. Kumachom's is a bit of a different GTR. I don't know if that counts. Shotapero's got a 3 double, and Kumachom counters most of it. And now he's got a 2 double, but Kumachom doesn't send the 2 double. And now he's got. Shotapero's got a 3 chain, and Kumachom's countering with a 4 chain. No, maybe a 5 chain. 4 double. Shotapero is forced to send his main chain, but Kumachom might have messed up his form too much. We'll see if he can recover. He's going to start with the green. It's hard to tell if it's enough. It's barely not enough. And Shotapero's got a follow-up chain. Kumachom has to build in a hurry, but I don't know if he can do it here. It's 5 double, and Kumachom doesn't have that much. So Shotapero's going to get another win, bringing it back, and it's now 8-9. Kumachom's got a 2 chain, and he just sends it. It's going to get countered by a 4 chain. Almost an all clear, but Kumachom wasn't able to connect with blues all the way. Kumachom does have another chain set up. He's going to send a 2 chain again. Shotapero is going to receive the garbage and dig with a 2 chain, but Kumachom's got a bigger chain. He draws a green red, and he doesn't set off the chain. He's going to dig and make an even bigger chain than that. He's going to need a red. No, he's going to send a 2 chain for now. And Shotapero is going to receive the garbage, but his green starter doesn't get covered. Shotapero is actually going to try to extend on top and sends a small 2 chain for now, but it's going to get count. Oh no, Kumachom's got a green in the ghost row, and it's going to be his main chain. I don't know if Shotapero can dig. He needs to clear the yellows and then the greens, and he can't quite get it. So Kumachom gets the win. Very back and forth aggressive battle there, starting with Kumachom's early attack. Another early attack set up from Kumachom, and he doesn't send it yet. It's not covered yet, though. And now it's covered, but he might build an attack somewhere else. Sends a single for now. Shotapero's just got his left side GTR. And he's got like a 4 chain counter ready, but he covered it up, and now he makes a 3 chain counter instead. Kumachom's got a 3 chain on the red, and he can set his main chain with a purple and a red, and he puts the purple and red, and Shotapero sends a 3 chain right at that moment, but Kumachom's got a 4 chain counter, and Shotapero sees it and sends his main chain as a response. A lot going on here. Kumachom thinks about trying to extend with the purples, but decides he's not going to get it probably. But the chain doesn't quite connect in the end. And Shotapero gets the win. It's now 9-10. The blues on the bottom right for Kumachom seem hard to use, but he's found a way to get them in. And now he's setting up a 2 double on the left. Shotapero setting up a counter on the right. He can make a 3 or 4 chain pretty easily. Kumachom might just be going for his main chain. He's got a green starter. And Shotapero's just going with his main chain. Seems to think Kumachom's chain won't work, but it looks like Kumachom's chain is going to work, and it's going to be bigger. Not sure if it's a misdrop from Shotapero or a misread, but either way, Kumachom's going to get the win. Oh, Kumachom's going aggressive again, and he's not. He is going to send it this time. Shotapero's got left side GTR, and he's built up tall, but he gets so much garbage that it's tough to dig to anything. He's got 2 chain. Kumachom's setting up a counter for him for like a 6 chain if he can get a purple in the 5th column and he gets it there. Now he's got a yellow starter and he just starts it. Shotapero doesn't really have a form that he can dig with easily, so he's probably not going to be able to reach anything at the bottom, and without that, he can't counter Kumachom's chain. Pretty strong counter setup there from Kumachom. So he's able to receive a lot of garbage from shotapero and then start a big chain. Not an aggressive form this time from Kumachom. Shotapero's just got left side GTR. And no one's really attacking or anything. They both clear singles and they counter each other out. Kumachom's sending a 2 double. Looks like Shotapero had a counter, but he's got a starter anyway that doesn't get covered. Kumachom sends a 4 chain, but it was a 5 chain for Shotapero. Kumachom's going to have to send a 4 double, but Shotapero's got a bigger chain going, and Shotapero's going to get the win. I think Shotapero was able to read that Kumachom's chain was going to stop early, because it looked like it was going to be a longer chain perhaps, but it was actually a short 4 double because it cut. Shotapero gets covered with a lot of garbage this round. He's got a 2 chain. Kumachom's got a tall blue starter. He's going to try to extend, and he's going to try to extend even more. He needs yellows, though. He's going to send a 2 double first. Shotapero's got a 3 chain counter, though. And Kumachom's got the extension in. And now he just needs greens to start. And he's going to extend even more with the blue-green exact starter. It's now on Shotapero to try to get as much in as he can, and he adds in the yellows and starts his chain. It's going to be a 10 chain from Kumachom, and Shotapero's doesn't connect all the way, and it probably wasn't enough anyway. So Kumachom does get the win. 10-13 now. The aggressive strategy seems to be working out pretty well against Shotapero, but this time Kumachom's just building a really solid form that doesn't really have any attack options to it. Shotapero's set up pretty defensively, has a 3 or 4 chain. And he's going to send the 4 chain as an attack, but Kumachom has a 5 chain counter, so it's a bit of a missed decision there from Shotapero. He's going to have to send his main chain, and Kumachom is probably going to try to extend on the tail. It might be tough to do it, though. It's a 6 chain from Shotapero. Kumachom wasn't quite able to extend on the tail, so he's not able to win the chain battle, and now he's at a heavy disadvantage. And he's going to fill up from the 3 chain. Kumachom put himself in a position to win, but he wasn't able to extend on the tail, and the tail didn't quite work as he wanted it to. Kumachom's got a huge attack, and he's just going to send it. He's going to get countered by a pretty big 4 chain, though. But it's tough to say who's at an advantage. If Kumachom can use his Puyo for an attack, he might be able to take the advantage. He's got a 3 chain. Shotapero adds the red to start his main chain, and it's going to connect all the way to the purples. Kumachom's forms looks tough to work with, but he found a way, I think. 8 chain from Shotapero. Kumachom's got a bigger chain, I think. It is going to be a... Oh no, somehow none of the yellows connect. Looked like surely some of those yellows were going to connect, but somehow they all miss each other. And as a result, Kumachom didn't have a big enough chain, and Shotapero gets the win. Shotapero's going with left side GTR. Kumachom's got a 4-2 quad or something like that, but doesn't send it. Small 2 chain from Shotapero is set up. He's extending to a 3 chain, and he sends it as a 3-chain. Kumachom receives the garbage and he's got a counter, but shotapero sees it's only going to be like a counter 2 or 3-chain, and shotapero goes straight into his main chain. Kumachom, he's got his main chain actually, and it's gonna be strong enough. Shotapero took a risk thinking that Kumachom wouldn't be able to dig, but Kumachom was able to dig and build a bigger chain. So Kumachom gets the win. Oh, Kumachom clears a big single and then gets an all clear. Shotapero is able to dig if he can get 2 reds before Kumachom can send the bonus, and Kumachom sends the bonus, but Shotapero gets the red he needs. Now Kumachom's gonna have to build a counter. And he's built a counter, but he's gotten so much garbage that you can't really use it. No, for now he's got a 2-chain, but Shotapero's following up. Oh, Kumachom's got the exact piece for a 3-chain though, and this might not be over yet. Shotapero's going to receive the garbage instead of sending a 3-chain. Kumachom still has Puyo, and it looks like he can use him. He's actually got a 6-chain, and Shotapero's chain was also 6, and it's almost even. Shotapero has a lot more space to work with because Kumachom's right side is entirely full of garbage. But Kumachom sends a big single, and even though Shotapero has a 2-chain, he still gets a line of garbage. Now it looks tough. Shotapero starts a chain, and it becomes a 3-double, and it's still not decided. Shotapero's space is getting harder and harder to work with, and Kumachom's clearing some space for himself. And Shotapero, I don't know if he's got a chain that starts with the blues, but he can't really extend anymore. He's gonna have to send that. Kumachom's got a chain starting with the reds. He's gonna try to extend more, and he's not gonna draw the blue starter now. We're just getting into margin time, and Shotapero ends up getting the win in a very interesting match there. Oh, potential all clear maybe, but it didn't come. Shotapero seems like he's trying his best to build defensively and safely, but it's still not necessarily working out. This time he's got a 3-chain counter to Kumachom's attack, though. Shotapero's got a main chain that starts on the purple, and he might just send that when he draws the purple, and he does. Kumachom's gonna have to extend a lot. It looks like a very tough form to do it with, but there might be a chance. And he's not able to do it. With that win, we're now tied at 14. Kumachom's again just sending an early 3-chain. He sees Shotapero's GTR is pretty vulnerable, but Shotapero is able to connect 3 yellows, so he's going to be able to dig pretty easily. If he connects the blues, it would start his main chain. But he doesn't want to start it yet, and he sends a 2-chain first. Kumachom's got a left side GTR. If you put a blue-green on the left side, then it's going to connect, and it does connect. And it's going to be a 7 or 8-chain. It's an 8-chain. Shotapero is going to try and counter, but the yellows aren't going to connect. Still, he has an 8-chain as well, and his is going to be stronger. And Kumachom has a rough spot to dig from. And he's going to get even more garbage, and he's actually not filled up yet. But this follow-up from Shotapero might do it. He's still not going to fill up, but he's got even less space now, and he doesn't draw a purple. It's now 15 to 14, so Shotapero takes a lead. Kumachom's setting up again. Looks like he's not going to send it anything, though. A single gets countered by a single. Shotapero just sends a 4 chain. Kumachom's going to counter with his main chain. We'll have to see if shotapero used too much. He's going to have to extend a little bit. Oh, Kumachom's chain ends really quickly, and Kumachom gets the win. It was a quick but powerful chain from Kumachom, and shotapero might have used too many Puyo in the attack. It's tough to read out Kumachom's form is going to work. Oh, he's going to need greens on the right side. Shotapero, neither player has sent anything yet, and Shotapero might just go for his main chain. And he does, but it looks like some of the towel is breaking. It ends up not being that strong of a chain from Shotapero. But I don't know if Kumachom can beat it. And Kumachom's not quite got the power he needs. So both players had kind of tough forms that match, and neither of them could get a really big chain off, but Shotapero ends up getting the bigger of the two. Kumachom's just going with aggression again, and he doesn't send it. Shotapero was set up for a 4 chain, I think. Shotapero clears a single, and Kumachom clears a 2 chain, but it's going to get countered by a 3 chain. Kumachom needs a lot of purples to start his main chain. Purples and blue, and he couldn't get all those colors in time. All clear start this time. Kumachom takes the big single, and Shotapero takes the 2 chain version. And I think Shotapero got the advantage from that. Kumachom's got 3 garbage to work with. Kumachom's setting up 2 double potentially. Or he's going to try to connect his ETR, is I think what they call this. But he does have it connected, and he's actually going to send it, and it's going to work out. But might not get him the win because Shotapero looks to have a better chain. Now it's 8 from Kumachom, and Shotapero sent his chain too early. He actually needed to extend a little, I think. And he did need to extend a little to counter. And Kumachom does get the win with ETR. Maybe it's not technically ETR, but I don't know. Shotapero's got left side GTR, and Kumachom plays the red he needs. He's setting up a 2 chain, but Shotapero's pre-countering it with a 2 double, and Kumachom only has the 2 chain, and Shotapero gets the win. It was tough for Kumachom to build because he had that hole in the middle that he had to fill in, and then he only had a 2 chain set up, and Shotapero was able to read that and counter in advance. Kumachom's going with an early 2 double. Shotapero's got a nice form for digging. He's got his main chain connected, but he's going to send a 2 chain with the greens first. And oh, Kumachom's got his main chain going. It was tough to read that it was all connected. But Shotapero's also got a main chain, and Shotapero's tail. Oh, the blues don't connect in the tail. If the blues had connected, there would have been 3 more chains in there, but they didn't quite connect, and Kumachom ended up getting the bigger chain off. So he got the win from that. Kumachom's not really looking to attack this time. Shotapero's got a right side transition. Kumachom's got a lot of attack options, sends a single and he's got a 2-double, but he can't draw the green, so he sends a 2-chain first. Shotapero is countering the 2-double with the 2-double 3-chain, but Kumachom converts it into a 4-chain, and Shotapero has to send his main chain. Kumachom, that purple has to fall all the way down. It's tough to see if he can do it, and he can't draw a starter anyway. Found a way to make the purple in the fourth column fall down and connect later, but he couldn't draw the starter in the end. It's 19-17 now. It's been a pretty even match. Kumachom had an early lead, but Shotapero's taken it back. Shotapero's got defensive 3-chain, 4-chain, sends it as a 3-double to attack with. Kumachom has to blow up most of what he has on his field, and Shotapero sees it's not that big and sends his main chain. And Kumachom can't recover in time. So Shotapero gets another win, and now he's up by 3. Kumachom, it looks like he wants to send something, and he just sends a single. Shotapero's got a left side transition, but he's kind of stuck on the transition part. He's still not extending, and now he places pieces on the transition area and sends a 2-double at the same time. Kumachom's forced to send his main chain. Shotapero has time to try to dig to his transition, and I don't know if he can do it though. He thinks he's got it, and somehow he's actually got it. I don't know how he connected that chain but it ends up connecting completely, and he gets the win. That was a really tough chain to work with, and somehow Shotapero got it done. This time Shotapero's got an easier right side transition. Shotapero clears the first single. Kumachom still hasn't even cleared a single. Probably wanted to do it, but didn't find a chance, and now he's just going into his main chain, but it looks like the yellows are going to cut. Shotapero might have... Oh no! They cut, but it replaces itself on top. Shotapero might have a bigger chain, though. They're both going to have 13. And Kumachom actually has the bigger chain. That fix might have been intentional, because the one piece cut, but then it fell down and replaced itself, so it's still connected. And if that was intentional, it was a really good recognition for how to make sure the chain still works. This time Kumachom sends a single, and it kind of covers the greens that Shotapero needed, but Shotapero is able to make a 4-chain to counter Kumachom's next attack, and Kumachom just has to go into his main chain. Shotapero should have an easy time to win here, but it's going to depend on the tell. Looks like he's found a way to connect the tell correctly, and he does get enough in. He even gets the greens to disappear, and he's going to get the win. So, at this level, they make it look easy. For someone like me, it's really hard, but they can get those extensions in pretty consistently. Kumachom's going with aggression, it looks like, but he covers it. And Shotapero's just building stably. Got a nice defensive form there. Can send it as an attack for a 3-chain, but he doesn't do anything yet. Clears a big single. Nothing gets covered on Kumachom's side though. And Kumachom's got a 4-chain. Shotapero counters with a 2-chain, but it's not enough, and he has to send his main chain as a follow-up. Kumachom should have an easy time to win here. And it's only 6 from Shotapero. Kumachom's got a bigger chain than that, and it's also very fast, so Shotapero doesn't really have time for a second chain, and Kumachom gets the win. Score is 22-19 now. Kumachom has generally been doing right side transitions, and he's got an attack setup, and he doesn't use it. Shotapero had a 5-chain setup, I think. 5 or 4 doubles, something like that. So there's no way Kumachom could win by attacking into that. Shotapero sends a 3 double, but Kumachom makes a 5-chain for a perfect counter, and Kumachom wins with the counter. 22-20 now. I think a lot of the reason why these players don't attack that much is because of what just happened there. Like, the other player can build a perfect counter and then you're at a big disadvantage. Kumachom goes with an early attack this round, and it connects, and it looks like Kumachom's gotten the advantage. Shotabero's got a form set up, though. It looks like it's going to be tough for Shotapero to connect to the right side all the way. Kumachom, I think he just needs a blue, but he didn't get the blue, so he's going to have to send a smaller chain. And Shotapero might be able to win as a result. Oh no, it actually just connects in a different way. It's really tough to read, but Kumachom ended up getting a 10 chain, and Shotapero found a way to connect to the right side. I thought the chain was about to stop, but actually, he's got a 12 chain and he's going to win. Oh, Kumachom's got a second chain, though. Maybe it's not over yet. The second chain isn't enough. That was a really nice chain from Shotapero, and I'm not even sure how it connected, because, like I said earlier, it looked like it was hard for him to connect to the right side, and he somehow found a way to get something to connect on top, and then it fell down to the bottom. And, well, Kumachom's got a 2 double this round, but Shotapero has a 4-chain counter, and we're going to play for him there. Shotabero's got a follow-up 2 double, sends it quickly, and Kumachom has a 2-chain, but it's not going to counter everything. Kumachom's got even more garbage, but if he can dig, he's got a lot of Puyo down there. Shotabero's got a 3-chain. Kumachom might need an exact color, and he can't get one, but he can still kind of dig, but not quite. And Shotapero gets the win. Shotapero's got a stable right side transition. Kumachom's got a right side transition as well. And neither player has sent anything. Kumachom sends a single, and it kind of covers a lot on Shotapero's field. But Shotapero digs with a couple chains, and Kumachom sets up a big single, and it covers the green. And Kumachom follows up. Maybe saw that the greens got covered, but Shotapero found another way to make a 3-chain. He's still receiving garbage, though. And Kumachom's following up again. Shotapero needs greens. He's just going to use the reds, and he found a different way to make a chain. And it's a 4-chain counter. Kumachom has to set something off, and it's a 3 double counter. And Shotapero's counting that with his main chain. Kumachom has to extend to win this, but it looks like he can do it. He needs a yellow and a green and a blue, and he got it all in time. A bit of a fortunate draw at the end, but he's going to be able to counter everything, and this is probably going to get him the win. Shotapero's going to try a second chain. The reds are going to connect, and everything in the tail is going to disappear, except 2 blues. But still not enough. It's very close, but just not quite enough. Shotapero has been showing some really good chains in tough spots. This time it didn't get him the win, but it was a nice attempt anyway. 24-21 now. Kumachom's just building a stable right side chain by setting up a 2-chain in the middle with the purples, and he sends it. Shotapero's got a red counter, but he can't draw the red, so he instead finds a different counter for a 3-chain, and somehow he's got a perfect form left over too. Kumachom's built a counter starter, so he can still connect a chain with the yellows. But it looks like a 5. The blues are actually going to connect too, so it's going to connect to his main chain. Shotapero's starting his main chain. Oh no, the yellows cut this time, and Shotapero ends up not getting the win. He might have started the chain too early too. I'm not sure if he had enough in the chain. Both players are showing some really strong chaining ability from tough spots. Kumachom's setting up a 2 quad if he can draw blue red and then a purple, and he's just not going to send it. Shotapero probably had his main chain ready. Shotapero is going to attack with a 3-chain. Kumachom's going to counter with a 4-chain. That was a pretty impressive counter for this situation. But Shotapero counters that with a 3-chain. And Kumachom doesn't have a blue. He has to clear the greens to not fill up. Shotapero doesn't follow up immediately, but Kumachom's form might be messed up. He's been showing some good recoveries though, so it might not be over. Two chain now from Kumachom, and Shotapero is forced to go into his main chain. It's not really that strong either, but it's very fast. It's like a quad 6, I think. And now Kumachom was able to set off the main chain he wanted to send, and I think he's got enough. Yeah, the blues don't connect, or the greens neither, but he got enough anyway. And somehow Kumachom comes out ahead in that one. And it's now 24 to 23. I feel like we've been seeing some pretty crazy chains this match from both players. Two double from Shotapero. Kumachom sets off a chain on the backside. It's it's an impressive chain. Actually, becomes a 6-chain. Shotapero counters with what he has, but he's only got a 6-chain as well. Kumachom's got the yellow starter, and he waits to receive the garbage and then start his chain. And Kumachom sends a 5-chain. Shotapero draws the exact starter, and Shotapero's got a counter with that. And even the blues at the bottom connect, so it's a 7-chain. Kumachom sets off what he has, and it's pretty good, but it's only a 6-chain. It's very close in power. It's almost even, but Kumachom needed to counter there. And Shotapero's got a follow-up 6-chain. Kumachom's built a counter, but even if he starts it, it's not going to be enough. And Shotapero comes out with the win this time. These haven't felt like the standard matches, but they've been really impressive nonetheless. Kumachom sends a 2 double. Shotapero is going to receive the garbage and then send a 2-chain. Shotapero didn't want to go straight into his main chain. Kumachom can't connect and clear the garbage in time, so he's going to have to receive more garbage, and now he's in trouble. He's got a 2-chain, but it's going to get countered by Shotapero's main chain. Looks like about 11 or 12 for Shotapero. Kumachom may not have the space to beat that. Actually, it was 10 from Shotapero. And Kumachom's going to try, but it's not going to connect everywhere. And Shotapero gets the win. 26 to 23 now. Kumachom isn't looking for an early attack, but now he sends a 2-chain. Shotapero had the chance to start his main chain, but if he did that, the tail would have cut as well. Three chain from Shotapero. Kumachom has to start something, and it's going to be his main chain. Shotapero doesn't look like he has much space to extend, so he's going to need big tail or something. He started his chain at least, but the blues are going to cut, and I think that's going to cause the tail to not work. And it doesn't work. I think if the blues didn't cut, he had more of a tail there, and he probably would have countered, but the blues did cut. This time Kumachom's got a potential 2 double setup, but he doesn't actually look for it. And Shotapero's got some options available. Sends a single first. Kumachom counters with a 2-chain, but Shotapero's got a 3 double, and Kumachom sends a 4-chain. Shotapero is going to receive a line of garbage. Kumachom's used a lot of Puyo. And Kumachom's form looks really tough. He's going to be forced to send what he has. Shotapero just needs a starter, probably. He starts with the purple. And Shotapero's going to have the bigger chain, but the tail doesn't actually connect that much. And Kumachom has a chance with the second chain. And Kumachom has a counter with the second chain, but Shotapero's got a second chain of his own. But the reds don't quite connect, and that's going to be it. Shotapero just needed a slightly bigger chain for the second chain, and he could have won, but he couldn't quite connect enough there. Kumachom's setting up a 2 double, but he doesn't actually look for it. It looks like he's not really attacking that much in these recent rounds. Single from Shotapero. It's not that big, but it kind of causes problems for Kumachom. And now it's 2-chain, but Kumachom's got a 3-chain counter. Shotapero's got another 2-chain. And Kumachom's got a 2 double. And Shotapero's got a 3-chain. It's very back and forth. And finally, Kumachom gets a line of garbage. And now he sends a 2-chain and digs through it. And it's going to get countered by a bigger 2-chain. And Kumachom receives more garbage, but he's not filling up or anything. And now he sends a big single that's going to get countered by a 3-chain. And they're going back and forth with the attacks and counters this round. And finally, Shotapero gets just one block of garbage. Kumachom sends a single that gets countered by a 2 double, and finally Kumachom goes into his main chain. Shotapero looks like he just needs a yellow and a purple starter, and he's starting his chain. Kumachom had 9 triple. Shotapero looks to have a better chain, but the greens and the tail don't quite connect. And since the greens don't connect and the yellows and the blues end up not connecting, Kumachom ended up having the bigger chain. So, after so many back and forth attacks, they were both able to solve main chains, but Kumachom's was slightly bigger than Shotapero's. Now we're tied at 26. Potential all clear, but it doesn't quite come for Kumachom. Three-chain setup from Shotapero on the top with the yellows. Kumachom's going to send a 2-chain, and Shotapero's not going to draw a yellow. But he finds a 2-chain on the left side. But Kumachom follows up, and Shotapero still doesn't draw a yellow. He's forced to send strange chains, but somehow this is a 4-chain. And Kumachom now sends his main chain. It's not that big, but Shotapero had to break his form to counter, and he can't recover in time. And Kumachom ends up getting the win. That was an impressive 4-chain from Shotapero, but it's kind of like an all-in move, and if it didn't win or at least do damage to Kumachom, then he was in a rough spot and he was probably going to lose. It was also a bit unlucky just because Shotapero had the counter ready. He just needed a yellow and he didn't draw it. Kumachom's got a 2-chain, but he sends a big single instead, and it actually causes a lot of problems. Shotapero is going to dig with a 2-chain, but Kumachom sees this and makes a bigger 2-chain. And now he's following up. Kumachom's pretty all in now. He's got 3-chain and Shotapero can't draw greens to dig. It was a pretty powerful play there from Kumachom, starting things off with a big single and then just never letting up on the follow-up attacks. Kumachom setting up a 2-double, 2-triple. Looks like he's gonna send it every time, but then he like spun the piece away. Oh, it's gonna be a 3-double from Shotapero, and Kumachom's gonna send a chain, and a lot of stuff is disappearing. Shotapero's starting his chain, and it's tough to tell if it's gonna be enough actually. And it is gonna be, and actually it's an 8-chain, and it's gonna be more than enough. Kumachom can't counter that. Shotapero had a really nice tell there to get everything to disappear and have enough for the counter. Score is now 27-28. Kumachom has a 1-point lead. Shotapero sends a big 2-chain. Kumachom's got a 2-triple counter though. And Shotapero's got a 2-double, but even that's not going to counter everything, and Kumachom has a pretty big advantage. He's got no garbage and more Puyo. Kumachom needs reds to start his chain. The reds get covered though, and Shotapero's trying to take advantage of it. But Kumachom is able to start his chain, but the reds are actually going to cut here. So Shotapero might have a chance to counter. And he might have. He's starting a chain. It's not quite enough though. Kumachom was just at so much of an advantage with the 2-triple that even though Kumachom made a chain that cut, Shotapero wasn't able to counter it. Kumachom really hasn't been. I think that was a misdrop. I was about to say he hasn't been looking for early attacks, but he sends an early single this round. It might have been a misdrop, but he's found a way to connect everything. And he just needs to get the purples to connect. He's probably going to hold off on sending his main chain, though. And he sends a 2-double. Shotapero draws a counter, and it's going to be a 4-chain, and Kumachom, I don't know if he's going to have a counter. No, he does find a 3-double. But Shotapero's following up with a 2-double. Kumachom needs yellow, but actually, Shotapero's just going straight into his main chain. So the yellow starter wouldn't be enough for Kumachom, because it'd only be like a 3-chain. Shotapero probably saw that Kumachom wasn't going to be able to connect to his main chain, so he just sent his main chain immediately, and that was a good decision. Yeah, it looks like Kumachom isn't sending those early attacks anymore. Shotapero tries an early 2-double, and Kumachom is going to counter with a 2-double, and it's actually going to be a line bigger. Now, a couple singles from Kumachom. Shotapero needs purples, and he's going to get the purples. And he makes it a 2-double chain, and Kumachom can't counter, and he just fills up. So now we're tied at 29. Kumachom is still not doing those early attacks. I guess he's decided against it for now. Shotabero's changed and tried to do more two doubles in the mid game, it looks like. Kumachom sends a 2-chain, and Shotapero now sends a 3-chain. Kumachom's sending everything he has. I don't know if the top part of the towel is going to work that well. The purples are going to disappear, but that's about it. The bottom part connects for a 10-chain, and Shotapero can't beat the 10-chain. So Kumachom gets to 30 first, and it's 29 to 30. Maybe this time? I don't know. Kumachom looked like he might set up a 2-double, but he didn't even try to set it up. It looks like he's just not doing the early attacks right now. Kumachom's got a 3-chain defensive setup, and he connected it to a 5-chain. He might be forced to send it, or he's going to try to connect his main chain. Oh, he sends a 4-chain in the end. Shotapero draws a counter just in time and makes a 4-chain. It looked like he wasn't going to have anything there. And Kumachom's going to go straight into his main chain. But Shotapero can probably extend and win. He decides he doesn't need to extend. And he tries to just win. And I don't know if he made the right decision. It looks like it's not the right decision. He did need to extend a little bit. And now Kumachom is most likely going to win. Shotapero hasn't filled up yet. But Kumachom's got a 4-chain. Shotapero needs exactly the right colors. He gets what he needs. And he's going to counter with a 4-double. So it's not over yet still. Kumachom's still at an advantage, but it's not as much as before. Shotapero sends a big single. Kumachom sends what he has. Shotapero was able to make a pretty big chain. But is it big enough? It's going to be big enough. And Kumachom needs another chain. He's got another chain going, but this chain is powerful, but not, or a lot of Puyo are disappearing, but they all disappeared at the same time. And somehow Shotapero gets the win in the end. Kumachom had a big advantage, but he didn't set off a big enough chain, and Shotapero was able to take the garbage and then set off a big chain of his own. Kumachom's going aggressive now, it looks like. Maybe he's mad from losing. And it's going to be a red rock and a line of garbage. And Shotapero's going to take it all, and he has no counter ready. Kumachom was mad about losing the last point, so he had to take out his anger on Shotapero with an early attack. And Kumachom goes back to not attacking. Shotapero has a pretty stable left side GTR. The tell is really tough, but he's probably going to be able to connect it. But Kumachom's winning with really small attacks, and Shotapero's not going to be able to do anything. It looked like really small attacks from Kumachom, so it didn't look like it was going to do much, but they all added up, and Shotapero ended up getting covered too much by the small attacks. And Kumachom got the win from them. Kumachom's got a 2-chain, but he's not going to send it. Kumachom's got a 3-chain, or a 2-chain, or some other chains. Shotapero's got a 5-chain. No, he's got his main chain connected. Kumachom sends a 2-chain, and it's going to get countered by Shotapero's main chain. Looks like about 12, maybe 13 from Shotapero. Can Kumachom make a chain that's bigger than that? It's actually 14 from Shotapero. And Kumachom can't counter it. So the big chain from Shotapero gets him the win. Sometimes in that situation, like, you'll see Kumachom or other players have to try really hard to extend just because they can't send up. If they send a chain that's too small, they're just going to lose. Wow. Shotapero got a 4-chain all clear, but kumachom had such a big 2-chain that even though Shotapero had a 4-chain, kumachom's chain was so much stronger that Shotapero's at a big disadvantage. And kumachom gets the win. That was that was quite the 2-chain from kumachom. Like, I didn't even know 2-chains could get that powerful. This time it's an early single from kumachom. Not sure if it was a mistake or a planned attack. Kumachom's chain is a bit tough because he can't place a purple in the third column. Shotapero is going to attack while kumachom's trying to figure it out, but kumachom makes a 2 double to counter. Kumachom still hasn't figured out what to do in the third column. Oh, he's going to attack off the backside, and that's going to give him a chance to recover. But it's still a tough form to work with. And I don't know if he was I don't know if he would have been able to do it. Shotapero gets the win, and it's 32-33. Not much happening this match yet. Kumachom clears a single and it gets countered by a 2-chain. And the yellows get covered, so Kumachom needs something to dig. He's sending a 2-chain. Shotapero doesn't have a counter. And Kumachom follows up, but not fast enough, and Shotapero is going to be able to make a 3-chain, but now Kumachom makes a 2 double, and that one is fast enough. Shotapero doesn't have anything immediately available. He's going to have to dig to something, and he finds a 3-chain, but Kumachom's got a 2 double 3-chain, and Shotapero is getting covered even farther. A big single from kumachom, and now a 3 double from kumachom, and the follow-up attacks are going to win it. Nice way to press the advantage there from kumachom. Once Shotapero got a little bit of garbage, kumachom just kept up the attacks before Shotapero could recover. Right side transition from both players this time. Kumachom's got a 3 or 4-chain setup. He sends the 4-chain. And Shotapero has to send his main chain. It's tough to read how much is going to disappear here because the reds actually connect. Both sets of reds connect, and it's a 7-chain. And kumachom actually can't beat it. I thought he would be able to do it because he had a good amount of time, but he wasn't able to do it in this situation. I didn't see if he got a bad sequence of colors or something. Left side GTR from Shotapero and a left side transition from kumachom, and he's sending a 2 double. It's going to get countered by a 3-chain, but it's actually not that strong of a counter here. And kumachom's following up with a 2-chain, and then a 2-chain. Shotapero is able to make a 2-chain to counter. Kumachom's used a lot of the Puyo on his field, but Shotapero looks like he only has his main chain. He needs to draw a blue to start a different chain, but now his main chain is connected anyway. Kumachom thought Shotapero was going to send a smaller chain, but his main chain ended up being connected, and now kumachom is just going to give it up. A lot of times players try to not send their main chain, so they try to send a smaller chain first. And I think Shotapero was trying to do that, but he ended up not getting the colors to do it, so he just had to send his main chain, and that actually got him the win. 2 double from kumachom on the reds, and he finally sends it. But Shotapero's had a long time to prepare. He's just going to go with his main chain, though. Kumachom needs blues at the top to start his main chain. He's gonna get the starter at least. The tail is all gonna disappear at the same time. It's gonna be powerful, and I think it's enough. It is enough, and shotapero can't start his second chain in time, so kumachom gets the win. 34-35 is the score. It's been very even the whole way, pretty back and forth. Two double from shotapero on the red, and he's gonna send it. Kumachom makes a three chain, but it's not gonna be enough of a counter. Shotapero's following up, seeing this, and kumachom just can't do anything. Shotapero had a quick read that kumachom's three chain wasn't enough, so it was good to follow up there quickly. Kumachom's got a tough right side transition. And Shotapero sends a four chain. Kumachom can't get up to the yellows, though he does find a way to get up to the yellows to start his main chain. Shotapero's got time to try to extend and win. He's gonna just send the chain now, but again, this looks like it's not enough. He might have been at a loss for how to extend from that position. It looked kinda tough, so he just tried his main chain, but even I could tell that probably wasn't enough. Kumachom takes a 1 point lead, and it's 35-36. No one's really looking to attack. No one's even cleared a single yet. Kumachom's got a tough form because the entire right side is really low, or the fifth column in particular. Shotapero sees this and just sends his main chain. Kumachom's gonna have to see if he can extend. He needs a yellow, I think. He doesn't have a yellow in the middle, so it's not gonna connect. And Shotapero made the correct read that Kumachom wasn't gonna be able to send a big chain from his board state. And so Shotapero just won with a big chain of his own. Oh, all clear for Shotapero, but Kumachom gets it too. And it should be even. So it's going to be an all clear match. Shotapero's building in the middle. He's looking for another all clear, but there would have been an extra green left over. Kumachom's built a right side counter like see most players do. Most players build on one side or the other. Shotapero, though, has a four chain. Kumachom needs red. Oh, he doesn't get the red. It was really close. He was just a little bit too slow to get the red out. If he had gotten it out, I think he had enough there to win, because Shotapero had used pretty much everything he had there. Kumachom sends a small 2 chain. It's going to get countered by a bigger 2 chain. And now Kumachom sends another 2 chain. Shotapero receives it and looks to send a 2 chain on the blues, probably. But now he's made it a 2 double and he sends that. Kumachom makes a 5 chain, but Shotapero sees it's a big chain and goes into his main chain. Kumachom probably used too much there, and it's going to be really tough to recover in time to counter the 8 chain. And you can't do it. So even though Kumachom got the counter, it used too many Puyo, and Shotapero could win with his main chain. Kumachom might be going aggressive this time. It's the first time in a while where he's built a form that he can attack with at the start. Or at least that looks like an obvious attack. Big single from kumachom, and it almost sends 2 lines of garbage. And now he's following up with a 2 double. But shotapero makes a 3 chain. Still, kumachom's interrupting it and following up. And kumachom gets the win off of that big single and then follow-up attacks. That's really the power of singles. In no time, you can all of a sudden get like 2 lines of garbage and then just fill up. It's so hard to defend against, too. It's pretty hard to set up, but shotapero almost looked like he was trying to go for a big single of his own, but it would have connected to his main chain. Kumachom sends a 2 double, and shotapero counters with the 2 chain, but he gets some garbage. He's still got a 3 chain left over on the blue. He sends that 3 chain now. Kumachom builds up to the yellow instead of waiting to receive the garbage, and it's going to be Kumachom's main chain. It's probably like 10 triple 11 or so. It's 10 triple 11 and then 12. Shotapero starting his main chain. I don't know if it's going to be enough. The tell doesn't quite work that well. It connects to the yellows and the blues, but nothing else connects. And it's just not strong enough. And kumachom gets the win to tie it up at 38. It still continues to be a very even match. Shotapero's got an unusual tell, but it's going to connect. Kumachom's got a 3 chain on the reds, but he covers it. And Shotapero sends a 3 double. Kumachom makes a 4 chain, though. Shotapero gets just 3 pieces of garbage. Shotapero is now sending a big attack. Kumachom's countering it with a 4 chain, though. Shotapero is going to be forced to send his main chain, probably, but he decides he can receive the garbage. He's going to try to play from there. And he hasn't filled up yet. And now he's got a form he can fight with. He's got a 2 chain. Kumachom's going into his main chain, though, so now Shotapero just has to extend as much as he can and then send his main chain, and he's extended as much as he could. Kumachom's chain was 11 double. Oh, Shotapero's chain is going to cut, but it's still going to go a little bit longer, but it's not going to be enough. It might have been enough if it didn't cut. Kumachom gets the win, and it's 38-39 now. We're starting to get into the end game where the small leads can matter a lot more. Big single from Kumachom, but Shotapero reacts with his main chain really quickly. Still, Kumachom has the chance to extend and win. He needs the yellow starter, and he doesn't draw it. Kumachom, even though Shotapero was able to react to the big single, Kumachom still might have won if he had just drawn his starter in time, but he didn't draw it. So that's how powerful that attack was, just because even though the opponent countered it, you could still win. Kumachom got off a big attack at the start of this round, and Shotapero is trying to dig with 2 chains. Now he's going to build up a bigger chain. He's got a 2 double, but Kumachom's countering it with a big chain. It's going to be a 5 chain. Shotapero can't counter it. Kumachom's the first to get to 40. It's 39-40. Oh, Kumachom clears the 2 chain. Shotapero receives the garbage. And Shotapero sends a 3 chain, but Kumachom makes a 4 chain all clear. It's actually a 4 chain from Shotapero. Kumachom's got the all clear bonus, though. He doesn't send it immediately. He's just holding on to it. He's still holding on to it. And now he sends it. And Shotapero can't do anything but receive it. And now Kumachom looks to have gotten the win, but shotapero is able to dig to the reds. He needs reds though, and even then, it's not quite gonna be enough, I don't think. Not enough gets connected anyway. Kumachom made good use of the bonus to get the win. And now he's up by 2, 39 to 41. Shotapero does have a 2 double set up on the purples, and he makes it a 2 triple with the exact piece. Kumachom's going to receive the garbage and dig with a single, but the 3 chain from Shotapero is going to get the win. There's a good 2 triple counter there from Shotapero, and Kumachom couldn't do anything against it. And now it's 40 to 41. We'll have to see if either player can make a breakaway in the home stretch. Kumachom's setting up a 2 double, but he needs a blue first, and he's not getting it. But Shotapero finds a 2 double of his own, and Kumachom converts his 2 double into a 3 chain, but it's not going to be enough, and Shotapero has a really fast follow up, and Shotapero gets the win to tie it up at 41. It's now a 1st to 9. Kumachom sends an early 2 chain. Shotapero can't draw blue to make a 3 chain. He's still got a green starter for a 2 chain. Kumachom receives the garbage, and he's got a blue starter. Shotapero's going to send something it looks like, but he doesn't actually send it. Now he sends a 3 chain. Kumachom doesn't seem to have a good form for receiving the garbage. The blue starter gets covered by a lot. Oh, but he finds a 3 chain on the right side, so maybe his form was good enough for receiving garbage, actually. Kumachom needs a purple starter. He has to clear a single first, and now, or maybe a 2 chain. Now he's got the purple starter, but it might not be enough anyway. It doesn't look like it's going to be enough, and it's not enough. So Shotapero takes the lead 42 to 41. Up to now, the match has been extremely close the whole way. Kumachom may be making a 2 chain. He needs a blue for it, though. And now he sends a 2 double. Shotapero goes into his main chain. Kumachom has to extend. And Kumachom needs a yellow starter. He's going to get it. He got an extension in as well, but it might not be enough. It's going to be close. It is a 7 chain, and it's actually going to be enough. Shotapero's got a blue counter starter, and he's going to get it in. And that's going to be enough to counter, so Kumachom's going to need something of his own. Kumachom receives a red rock of garbage. And Kumachom didn't really have the chance to set up a counter for him. But he does make a 2 chain, but he still gets a lot of garbage. Shotapero made a single, but didn't cover anything important. Shotapero's now got a 3 chain, and Kumachom can't beat it. And Shotapero goes up by 2, 43 to 41 now. Two double setup from Kumachom on the greens. And he can make it a 2 triple, and he sends it. Shotapero sees it coming and sends a 4 chain counter, though. And it's a really strong counter, and Kumachom was maybe too focused on sending that 2 triple. Shotapero could see it coming and was just ready to counter, and now Shotapero has a 3-point lead. 2 chain from Kumachom. It's going to get countered by a 3 chain. But Kumachom has a good form left over after receiving the garbage. Kumachom's got a 3-chain or a 2-double. He sends the 2-double. It's going to get countered by a 2-double 3-chain though, and shotapero again has a good counter to Kumachom's play. And it's not quite over yet, but the 2-double is going to finish it. Shotapero now goes up by 4 in the endgame. So it looks like it's, for now, it's shotapero pulling away at the end. Something that happens sometimes in these matches is, even though a match is close all the way through, at the end, one player can sometimes just go on a streak and pull away and win. Kumachom's set defensively with about a 5-chain on the greens. It looks like he's connecting his main chain, now he just needs the green starter. But he can't draw it, and he wants to use the blues instead. And he does start with the blues, and if it doesn't cut, it'll be a really big chain. And the blues kind of cut, and it ends up becoming an 11 chain. Shotapero starts off a chain, but is it going to connect? The purples don't quite reach, and it doesn't connect. So Kumachom takes a much needed point here, and it's 45-42. No early aggression this time from Kumachom. Although now he's making a 2-chain higher up. Shotapero makes a 3-chain, but Kumachom goes into a 3-double 4-chain. Shotapero doesn't have anything left over. It looks like it was a good read from Kumachom to see that Shotapero didn't have anything left over in his form, and Kumachom was safe to follow up attack and take the advantage that way. But it's not over yet. It's now a 2-chain from Shotapero, and it looks like he doesn't have a way to build anything. He needs purples at least. He can't get the purples in time. And now it's 45-43. Again, no early attack from Kumachom. But now he's got a 2-double setup. Shotapero has a counter, and he draws a yellow starter for it. So it's a 3-chain counter. Kumachom's got a 2-double 3-chain on the red, but he doesn't send it. Now he makes a small 2-chain. Single from Shotapero sends almost the line to Kumachom. Kumachom's in danger of receiving any garbage. Any garbage could make him fill up. And he doesn't want to, but he's going to have to send his main chain. Shotapero should be able to beat it easily. He needs the starter, and he gets it in time. And I think this is going to be Shotapero's win. Unless Kumachom can make a second chain. And he wasn't able to do it. So it's now 46-43. It's only a 3-point lead for Shotapero, but it feels really tough just because there aren't that many more matches left to come back. Big 2-double from Kumachom though, and this is probably going to get him the win. Follow up all clear, and then follow up all clear after that. And Kumachom wins it 46-44. Shotapero is trying to pull away, but Kumachom's brought it back, kind of. Kumachom's looking to send an early attack again. 2-triple, potential all clear. It's not quite an all clear, and he doesn't send the attack either. But he's got a 2-double on top. It's a really big 2-double on the green, and he doesn't send it still. And it's a 2-triple, and he doesn't send it still. He's found a different 2-triple to send though, and I think Shotapero sending a huge play, and Kumachom wasn't able to send his main chain. I think he needed blue on the right column, and then he could start it. I think Shotapero thought Kumachom covered up his attack, so Shotapero tried an attack, but Kumachom still had an option there. But in the end, Shotapero did get the win. Kumachom's built a tall 2-double, and he sends it. And Shotapero draws the green at the last second for a 3-chain. Oh no, Kumachom placed the piece in the middle, and then a single garbage causes him to fill up. I don't know if that was a misdrop or maybe he's trying to rush out to the next piece or something, but that ends up causing him to lose the round. Now Shotapero is 2 away from winning. Kumachom sends a 2-chain. It's going to get countered by a 3-chain though. Shotapero has been pretty strong on these counters. Kumachom still needs a red in the 4th column, and he finally gets it in. Shotapero's got a lot of options set up, but he can't draw the blue, so he's forced to receive some garbage, and the follow-up attack doesn't cause him to fill up, but it covered the starter, so even though Shotapero didn't fill up, he couldn't start a chain, and then he filled up afterwards. 48 to 45 now. Shotapero's got right side GTR, and Kumachom's got right side GTR too, and he's got a 2-triple. Shotapero finds a way to make a 3-chain, and it's a counter, but he's broken down his form, and now doesn't look like he's going to be able to send a really big chain in this match, and Kumachom sees that and just goes into his main chain. Shotapero's going to try to extend any way he can, and he sets off a chain, but actually a lot disappears. It's still not strong enough though, and Kumachom gets an all clear. Shotapero made a counter, but it broke down his chain, and then he just couldn't recover and make a big chain. 2-double setup from Kumachom, and he sends it. Shotapero is going to draw the green for a 4-chain. Kumachom's probably going to have to build a counter for him, but he can't get the yellow in, so that might make it harder. Shotapero's probably at an advantage, but Kumachom's making a 3-chain. And Shotapero finds a way to make a counter 3-chain. It was actually a bit dangerous there for Shotapero, but he got the colors he needed, or at least he found a way to use the colors he was drawing. And it's now match point for Shotapero, 49 to 46. Kumachom needs to win 4 in a row to win the match. Nothing's been sent yet, but now Shotapero sends a big single. Kumachom's got a 2-chain. Shotapero sends a 4-chain. Kumachom's got... he's gonna have to send something, and he sends a 3-double. Shotapero now sends a 2-double, but it doesn't send too much garbage, and Kumachom's still able to play. Kumachom's looking for a 2-double, but he doesn't send it. He's now making a bigger chain. He's going for a main chain. Shotapero sends a single, and the garbage is kind of annoying, but Kumachom now starts his main chain. If Shotapero can make a bigger main chain, he's going to win the match. And he sets a chain off. All the right colors fall down, but Kumachom's chain was 11. Shotapero, I don't know if the tell works. The tell actually works completely, and Shotapero's going to get the win with the tell. And being a 14 chain. And Shotapero wins the match 50 to 46.